Hey guys, Jared Moon here, and welcome to the Better Humanology Podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in and listening to this episode. Now, before I get into the meat of today, I want to let you know that something big has happened. We have accomplished a major goal. We have to finish tabulating a few things before I officially announce it and release this information. Probably the next Thursday short episode, I'll let you guys know. It's not the 10,000 Better Humans. If you don't know, the main mission for Into3 Fitness is to help 10,000 human beings over the next 3 years by 2020. And it's not email subscribers or podcast downloads or any crap like that. It's 10,000 people actually telling me that they have become better through the use of Into3 Fitness. That's our main goal, but that's not what's been accomplished. This is something I've been tracking since 2012. I've already shared it with a few of my athletes, and I'm just going to have to leave you hanging there. I apologize, but I really want you to tune in. Next Thursday, I'll make this announcement and have some really cool stuff that goes along with it. Another thing, we are putting together a lot of new content. So if you love the podcast, keep listening to the podcast. But if you want to see some video stuff that aren't the podcast, go to garagegym.tv. That's going to redirect you to our YouTube channel. I've been putting out about 2 videos per week recently, doing a workout challenge towards the end of the week, and towards the beginning of the week, I've been doing either some information on programming, behind the scenes on my training, all sorts of different stuff. So if you want to, check us out on YouTube, go to garagegym.tv, and you can see what we're doing there. But today, we have a Thursday short episode, and I want to talk about the real secret to you seeing success and making some progress in your training. And what it is Pearson's Law. If you're not familiar with Pearson's Law, it states that when performance is measured, performance improves. When performance is measured and reported back, the rate of improvement accelerates. And then it's also been said a different way by Thomas S Monson. He said, when performance is measured, performance improves. When performance is measured and reported back, the rate of improvement accelerates. So very similar interpretations of Pearson's Law there, but you guys pretty much get the picture. Step 1 is if you want to increase anything that you're doing in your life, whether that is gain muscle, lose weight, increase your back squat, run faster mile times, whatever it is, if you want to increase that performance, you have to measure it. And once you start measuring it, that's how the performance will improve. But that second part, that second piece is the really big piece there, is when performance is measured and reported back, the rate of improvement accelerates. So do you have an accountability partner? Do you have someone that you could report to, a coach, your spouse, anyone who's gonna look over this stuff? Because if you're just jotting things down in a journal and you're like, oh wow, I've been trying to lose 10 pounds for the last 6 months and I've actually gained 15 pounds and no one really cares because this is just in my private journal. Stop. You got to go and find someone to report this stuff to, someone who's going to hold you accountable. Because once you know that's coming, it's a game changer when you have that coach or that person who's going to do that. I know I have a lot of athletes right now, and they're seeing some phenomenal success with some very basic tools, tips, and tricks that I'm giving them. And I asked them, I'm like, hey, what do you think the difference is here? Why are you seeing so much success? I know you've tried this stuff before. And most of the time, they're like, dude, because I have to talk to you. I know I'm going to have to talk to you next week, and I don't want to let you down. I don't want to screw that up. And it's a huge factor if you're not using that already. Now, let me talk about a few other things real quick. A lot of tips I have done over the last several years in tracking performance. So I'm a huge number and metrics guy. And so I track performance in a lot of different areas. But my number one challenge to you would be just to track one thing that you want to improve. Just one thing that you want to improve. I'm also a big proponent of the one thing. Just track one thing and let that be your measure of performance, and make sure it's a big thing that you actually want to improve. But here's some more tactical things that you can do, or so for tracking fitness. You could get into the app world. There are probably a million different fitness apps out there. I actually track all of my fitness in-app now because we have an app with Garage Gym Athlete, and so I do all that training. That's where I track a lot of my things. And if you're one of our athletes, then you're already tracking a lot of your performance. But I'm sure there are a lot of other great apps out there in the world that you guys could use. Now, another techie way to do it would be Evernote. And this is a recommendation I've been giving for several years. And so Evernote is free. You can get it on your phone, your computer. And what I've been doing since it goes back to around 2011, I think, or 2012 when I first started tracking in Evernote, I start a new notebook every single year. And it'll be training 2017, training 2016. And I'll put all of my training sessions in there. And all it is will be like a picture of the whiteboard if I wrote down the workout, and I'll write my results down there. Or maybe it's a piece of paper that I jotted the workout on, a screenshot of my app, something like that. And I'm kind of double tracking in a sense, but it's because I've already built up this huge database in Evernote. But what's cool about Evernote is it all becomes searchable, especially if you do screenshots, but if you do any sort of handwritten stuff on a whiteboard or a piece of paper, Evernote can actually search your handwriting. And so what you can do is go back and look over your training records for several years. And then the big thing that I do is I keep one note, and it's called the PR note. And I have every monostructural lifting workout thing listed in this one note, and then I go back and I update it, and that really helps me see my progress over time. Now that's kind of the fire hose approach to tracking everything. My real challenge to you is tracking one thing over the next, give it 4 weeks, give it 8 weeks, give it 12 weeks with just tracking one thing. That's just part one. Part two is finding that accountability partner. Who are you going to report this to? And watch your improvement accelerate. I know one thing that I challenge my athletes to do in Garage Gym Athlete. I have a video about this, and it's just a psychological principle of having to report your progress to others, the social influence that humans have on one another. Now, another thing that you can do to make sure that you are tracking this and reporting it to someone, I like to give this challenge all the time. Take out 10, go to Office Depot or something, or buy it on Amazon, or you can just get pieces of paper, but I like people to buy 10 business cards, just blank business cards. Write down what your goal is and when you're going to achieve it. And you write it out 10 separate times on these business cards, and you go hand these business cards to people you care about. So this could be your spouse, this could be your mom or dad, your brother, your best friend. It doesn't matter who it is. It just matters that you actually care about this person and their opinion of you. Sometimes it's not the best to have someone super close to you that if you're the type of person who doesn't follow through often and they already know that about you, then maybe that's not the best place to start. It's got to be someone who not only cares, but you care about what they think. You care about how they think of you and how they see you in completing your goal. And all this combined is really going to help you start seeing performance. Now, you don't have to get so in the weeds of little things like how am I going to increase my back squat, or what do I need to eat? What's the macro breakdown for achieving this goal? You just got to set the goal first, throw it out there to everyone that you love and care about, and start reporting your progress to them. And I guarantee once you light that fire, you'll figure the rest of everything out. And so don't be like, well, I got to have a really good plan in place. I'm going to get X, Y, and Z, get it all lined up. It's next Monday. Don't give me that crap on next Monday. We already talked about that in another podcast. You start now. You start today. And so you get the goal. You give it to your friends, your family. You tell them you're going to start reporting it to them once a week, whatever you're comfortable with. And then you figure the rest out. You figure the how out later, how you're going to do it. But what you're going to do, you got to announce it. You got to get started. And that is going to be your real secret to seeing success. So Pearson's Law, use it to your advantage. I'll say it one more time. When performance is measured, performance improve. When performance is measured and reported back, the rate of improvement accelerates. So go accelerate your performance. Thanks for listening. Go kill it the rest of this week.